we're going to talk about our different businesses in the sense of we both started a candle business in the year 2020. Is that correct?
Yeah, end of 2019, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, do you want to just tell me a little bit about yourself, what it is that you do? And a bit about the business, really.
Yeah, so I'm doing a PhD in neuroimmunology. That's my 9-to-5 job. And then one day, me and a friend had the idea of repurposing old gin bottles that we collect from bars, hotels, and whatever, into candles. And we heard from one company who are doing the same with champagne bottles, and we heard that they are actually running a very lucrative business with this. And then we thought that probably gin is actually really cool as well because it's so hyped. And then we started really figuring out how to cut the bottles because we tried out every video on YouTube, and none of them really worked. So we built an own device and also a whole new system how to cut the bottles that we haven't seen anywhere else. And then after we managed, we got into how to grind it, then which waxes to use. Then we figured out an own scent by combining several, among other juniper berry, which is the characteristic botanical in gin, right? So that's kind of most of what I do. So PhD from 9 to 5. And then before and after, I'm working on my YouTube channel and on the gin brand.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you hope to get from the gin candle brand?
Mostly what I want to get out of it is experience in how to build a business. What I really liked about this idea is that I don't need to spend a lot of money, to develop a prototype. Basically, it doesn't cost much to make a candle, right? And so I was happy that I had an idea that I could kind of build a small business around it without having to spend a lot of money. And then in the end, if it goes well, if people like it, then I also hope to make some money. And so I will do my PhD for 2 more years. So after that, I really hope that I can support myself by whatever I build in the next 2 years. So,
are you looking to do any other businesses?
In the future, for sure. I would love to kind of build a system around this and hire people if I can, and then do kind of a Tim Ferris 4-hour work week kind of thing out of this. That I have to spend a couple of hours per week on this, and then try to bring other projects to life. And
how's the candle brand going and business going at the minute?
At the moment, it's very slow, but that's all I really expected, nothing more. I'm not doing a lot of advertisement at the moment. I'm really only getting into this. I now set up a YouTube, a Facebook, and an Instagram account for the brand, and slowly, actually working on the product itself. I had the idea of doing a bundle now, so I ordered boxes and filling material and everything, and I'm starting to advertise now. And I also, just this morning, I went into the city center where I live and showed the candles and the bundles to a couple of stores, and they loved it.
Cool.
And 2 of them actually will buy candles. Now I have to figure out whatever I have to do now, and get some more bottles and cut them, grind them, make a lot of candles.
So are the stores, are they big stores? Are they independents?
Yeah, they are, I think, concept stores would best describe them. And
Okay.
One of them is kind of a high-level furniture store.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I actually had these 2 stores in mind all this time, and it's really cool that both said they would love to have the candles in their stores.
What did that approach look like? Did you do any research previously prior to it? And then, what did it look like? So say someone wants to do this for their business, what would you suggest for them to do?
I knew these 2 stores, and really from the beginning, I had them in mind. But if you're not in the same situation, probably for me, for example, I just checked also on Google Maps for gin, and then thought about if the candles would maybe fit into the several stores that came up. I tried to make the candles and the packaging look really neat and really professional, so that they knew that I was not kidding, with this, and that I was serious.
How important do you think like branding and packaging is for a product-based business?
I think apparently super important, right? I mean, the whole unboxing is really a huge deal, I think, which is kind of a problem for if you're starting out and have to spend a lot of money, because you will spend a lot of money on packaging, because you can, or probably you want to order only small quantities, and then each unit costs too much, reducing your margin. But at the beginning, it's not that important, right? If you can reduce these costs down the line, that's perfect.
So with the boxes, actually, we were looking at getting boxes made, and they were just so expensive for like the minimum quantity that you had to order, and it was like, we don't actually have the space to store pallets and pallets of boxes. So we got just plain boxes, and what we've done is ordered stamps and stickers to then brand it ourselves and stuff. There's a lot of like the psychology of getting a package through the post, how you open it, what you first see and stuff, and I'm really interested in that. And there's like the rule of 3. Basically, you get the box, you open the box, there's the box inside, or the actual like packaging, then you open that again, then the product's inside that. So it's like that. I don't know how it works, but apparently, if you search the psychology of 3 packaging, it will come up with all these different steps. And I found it really interesting in the sense that you know when you get something, you feel like a kid at Christmas sort of thing, and it's totally that feeling, and that's what I want to give people when they open the boxes. So it's trying to design stuff that they feel connected to the brand, which I think is hard to do.
Yeah. And that is something I would really love. That's this special touch that you can give as a small business, maybe much better than a huge business where you see that it's really one of 1,000, one of a million. And for us, it's like one of 10.
Do you have anything in the pipeline for your brand or for your what it is that you're doing?
So the 2 stores where I want to get the candles into are probably the main priority right now. Then the ads, where I will try some different things also, because I work with local gin brands. So it makes a lot of sense to advertise to local people. I was thinking also to put a sticker on my car, or lots of stickers on my car, and then park them in locations where where a lot of people are passing. And the other thing that I also thought about was maybe doing billboards. They are quite expensive, but I might just try it, and also document my experience on my YouTube channel as well.
That's good. Yeah, that's a good show. Have you ever heard of like guerrilla marketing, where it's like, so it's really sort of out there in the sense that right, so my dad owns, but this is an idea that I had like a little while ago, but my dad owns a barber's, and I thought about making plant pots with like really wild plant hair. Not really wild plants, but yeah, all the hair's out, and then it's like something like need a haircut or something like that, and then like placing them around town.
That's awesome.
So is there a way, I'm just trying to think of you for now, like, instead of paying all that money for a billboard, is there a way that you could get creative? Do you know what I mean? It's hard because candles are a home thing. But yeah, I have a think of how you could do it, and have a look on like Pinterest. Pinterest is really good for like different ideas and stuff.
Good idea.
And if I have any ideas, I'll definitely let you know, man.
That's cool. But I like it because it requires creativity rather than money, because the billboards are expensive and everybody can do it. But this is like, the only thing that came to my mind now, which is a bit stupid, is if there are some lamps, I don't know, from the city, and then kind of making them look like a candle. And then having the ginsols.com, but was just the first idea that popped into my mind. But something like that, right? That it needs to be legal, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
can you go around town and put plants everywhere? I don't know.
Probably not. Well, you could kind of say it's like a green initiative thing.
Yeah, sure.
Push it on one of those.
I think a lot depends on the advertisement that I will do on how the brand will progress.
Yeah.
Did you read the E-Myth?
Oh, it's in my reading book list. Yeah, I haven't read it yet though. No. Is it good?
You should. It's really good. Yeah,
Okay.
It's also really hands-on. It's the guy who wrote the book is having this imaginary discussion with also a small business owner.
Okay.
The beginning is not really did not really fit my situation because she came from the technical work and then transitioned into, well, I want to do this for myself. This was not really, so I really came into this from an entrepreneurial point, probably you as well, right? With the candles. I mean, we were not craftsmen, right? We did not love doing candles.
That's why I outsource it.
Right. And then, well, now they are talking, now I'm in the last 2 chapters where they talk a lot about advertisements and how important it is to really build your avatar customer, and then really define the language, the colors, and everything that they love to see and hear. And I mean, this is a huge deal, right? You need a lot of data for that. And well, I only have 2 sales for now on my store, and I know both of them, so they are actually not doing it because they love the candles or the brand, but they want to support me. So I have 0 data, and I want to figure out how to get data without a lot of sales to kind of kickstart this.
On to the point of buyer persona, have you made one for your business customers?
I wouldn't know how to get the data without really going and asking people. Like I'd probably go ahead and be like, hey, I'm a small business based here, and I know you like gin. Would you have 2 minutes to answer 5 questions? I'm building this gin candle brand. Here is 1 candle. What do you think? And then get a sense of if they actually like the product. I mean, I would get a sense of that after I sold some of the candles to one of the stores. Then we will see if people will buy them. But already before that, I could try that, right?
Yeah. So who is it that you want to target?
I was probably going to target the kind of intersection between gin lovers and candle lovers, if that exists. Probably it does, actually.
Yeah.
And then probably people who are really willing to spend, I don't know what it is, like probably 40 pounds on a candle, which not everybody is willing to pay. That would be probably the people that I would start targeting. And then the age, I selected, I think, 24, 25 to 65 and plus. Okay. Because below that, I think young people definitely will not spend $50 for a candle. But I mean, I've read countless times that you have no idea who your target audience is until you spend a lot of money targeting the wrong people. Probably that will be the same for me.
Yeah.
What about you?
So we've not done any ad spend yet, in the sense of marketing spend. So I would say the best thing for me has been like my personal brand, in the sense that it's not massive, but people, I've been documenting the process of building it, if you know what I mean. So like taking pictures of like when we got the first kit and whatever, and videos and just constantly drip feeding people ideas and stuff. But then I would say to you, make a buyer persona. So who is the person that is buying? Like I did this back in way back in college, and I thought it was like a stupid idea, and until I did it for Beloit, and I was actually like, this is quite a good idea, because then you can, it just kind of clears up who you're targeting. in the sense of I can share it on the screen if you want. Or targeting in the sense of I can share it on the screen if you want. I've basically made a strategy, if that makes sense, for Beloit. And in this, it breaks down the goals, the market, and what we're trying to, like, popular times of year, things like that. Consumer trends. But this is what I'm talking about for you, is like, make a person. So we've got Alice, who earns over £32,000 a year. She typically is in an executive/management role, and then like the kind of person she is, so and what influences her. Like, all of this is so subjective in the sense that I don't really know, but it's like I want to try and target people. I know that there are people like that out in the world, so I want to try and target people like that because I think they'll be a key person to buying the product. Again, like someone else, Mark, he's various different jobs, various levels. He doesn't spend as much on candles, but maybe it's for a gift and things like that. You want to try and work out who it is that you want to sell your product to. Instead of trying to find people to buy your product, try and find the market to sell your product into. Does that make sense? So then you're not going, oh, do you like candles and gin? You're going, oh, you like, I don't know, maybe being at home reading a book whilst enjoying a thing of gin on the weekend. Like, or, I don't know, someone for you would be like house parties, not house parties, but people who host dinner parties.
Mm-hmm.
So higher level of income, because dinner parties are typically associated with people who, do you know what I mean? Like, they like showing off, and it's very much like big house, look at me. And yeah, so if you've got a gin candle that's associated with higher quality, and obviously with it being about £40, which is quite expensive in the sense of candles. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Like that. Yeah. That would just be my idea for you anyway. So I don't know if that helps.
That makes a lot of sense, and it's actually great advice.
Yeah. So then you're not going onto Facebook and going advert for 25 to 65. You're going, I want to target people who enjoy reading. I don't know. In this country, it'd be like Country Life and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Like people who read a certain type of magazine, or people who do certain things, and you can get that in detail on Facebook and stuff. Do you have any plans to expand it in the sense of different vessels or different containers and things like that, or are you just going to keep it with gin bottles?
What would be really cool, I've already ordered some other containers. Here, I could really drastically improve my margin. Maybe people will actually get to like the brand, and then they might even buy a Gin Souls product rather than the gin brand product. You know, that would be something that would be really nice for the business, I think. You know, I have to put in 1 hour of work for each candle. To cut it, grind it. Yeah, it's a lot of work, and that's also why I need it to cost £40, you know?
How can you bring your cost down, just out of curiosity?
These candles will never be a mass product. It's not possible. I mean, but it's also not what I wanted it to be. You know, I wanted them to be handmade. You know, that's actually quite the thing that sets it apart from other brands, from other candle brands. Yeah. Probably at some point I will buy like one of these grinding tables where I would just need to hold the glass onto this turning table, and then it will go much faster. And of course, if I hire somebody who I can pay whatever to do that, that would be kind of a way to make this make this work.
We started with the glass bottles. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. There you go. These vessels are like they're very, very popular, if you know what I mean. But I think, what sets us apart is the scent. And I've just got loads of ideas. So we're going to do like paint cans. And then I'm going to get like 3 artists to design so they're going to help design the scent, and then they're going to design a label as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's like it's another story behind the brand instead of just being a candle. It's like creating and so it's not just like, oh, we make candles, we're handmade and all this and using soy wax. It's like, I don't know, I really want to push like the creativity and the craft element of it. So yeah, that's an idea that I need to get on with it.
I've never seen a candle in a what is it?
So it's like a paint tin. So you know you had
paint
to
tin,
you know you had to like get a knife to like pop it over. I really like that. I was doing some painting downstairs and I was like, oh, that's such a good idea.
So probably you will pour the wax inside and then close it, right? So you have really this experience of opening it like a tin.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then I think the element of like doing like the story behind the artist as well, which I think will be quite good. So like videos about why they do it, inspiration and things like that. And because I think people really do buy people, and they buy the story. Like they really, and that's what I found like with anything, like my other clients and stuff like that. People buy the story that you tell them, and yeah, that one piece of advice I would give to people is just document what you're doing.
This aspect of storytelling is probably hugely important, right? I mean, I did some Skillshare classes trying to get into that, or Tim Ferris podcast is always helpful here. You have to kind of create the need, right? Because nobody needs another candle brand, but
there's too fucking many of them.
But that's super important, right? But that, again, you need to first get an idea what the people who would buy the candle brand want to hear, because and what language they want to hear it in, because that's all of these things are super important and really probably the make or break of the sale, right? Probably the thing I would need to do most is generate more traffic, and I don't know if it makes sense, but maybe it's easier to send around candles because they are small and don't take an hour to make. But if I send around a candle, that costs me a lot of money and takes me an hour. So I really need to choose wisely who I want to send one to. So that's kind of bothering me a bit.
Why don't you try it with, say, 2 or 3 people?
Yeah, I mean, who would I send it to? I have no idea. I was thinking of sending it, for example, to a gin tasting, so online gin tastings. That would make sense. But I mean, it's such a niche product. It's not like a general candle. Everybody's using candles, But this is really like a very small niche, I would say. Would you agree?
Yeah. So do you have anyone like in your country or in your circle, in the sense of like who post about food or who post about gins or?
Yeah, I know one Instagram page, but they are mostly focused on wine. So I would probably need one of those. But unfortunately I don't know one that are doing gins. But I'm getting into that. So I've been following gin hashtags and gin Instagram pages like crazy. And maybe at some point I will go into that. That would make a lot of sense, right? To do that. Yeah.
So I would literally post on your pages, Facebook, whatever, and just say like, does anyone know any companies or any people that have a strong association with gin and stuff? Because it's like with coffee. Do you know what I mean? Like there's loads of coffee brands out there, but if you can like target someone who specifically posts about coffee, there are people like it, and there's probably micro people who do post about it as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Cool, man. Thank you very much for being on. If people want to go and check you out, where can they go?
So they can find me on YouTube at Phil Petrie, or on Instagram where I'm called at Phil's Progress, or on Twitter also at Phil's Progress. And if you want to check out the candle brand, it's in German though, but it's www.ginsouls, so GINSOULS.com.